Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hey, hey.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Dal?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Avengers, assemble! How are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
I am well. I am well.
That is good.
My mind is blown right now.
Why?
Which ending did you take?
I resisted, of course.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry, the other one's not any better. Far Cry 5 just blew Satsu's mind. That's what's going on, guys.
Oh my god. So I saw Avengers Infinity War. Moderators, if you see anyone in chat putting out anything that could be conceived of as a spoiler,
Bop their ass upside the head.
yeah, just take care of that, because I really don't want anybody to have it spoiled for them. I did a little review stream before this earlier today, right after I got home from the movie, and I gave my high-level thoughts on it. It is complete. The hype is completely justified. It is especially rewarding for not only comic book fans, but if you have followed the MCU religiously, even through the lesser movies, in some cases, there are things in this movie that you will be rewarded for recognizing if you paid attention. You don't necessarily need to have seen every Marvel movie to this point to watch this. It helps quite a bit. Though I would recommend, if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor Ragnarok, at the very minimum, you should watch those to have some idea of where things stand in a couple spots. Other than that, it was great. It is a long movie, though, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's probably too scary for little kids because there's a lot of things going on, a lot of very heavy things taking place that aren't pleasant for children, I would assume. Otherwise, at some point in the near future, after enough time has passed, I will talk in more detail about what I thought about the movie. But for now, if you are a Marvel fan, highly recommend it. It's going to make $1 billion. And Marvel movies will never stop being made because this thing's going to pay for at least 17 more of them. So, other than that, anything we need to cover before we get to the news?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies. Hit that like button if you have not already, and many of you have not. And please share our stuff. Find a video on our channels and just share it, even if you have no idea what it is and you've never watched it before. You know, spread the love.
Spread the love.
Let's see. I've also been up since 3:30 this morning for no rational reason other than I needed to get to work early to get stuff done early so I could go to the movie early. So if I get a little yawny over the course of the stream, I apologize. I can't really help it. My body is not used to being up this long so far.
I woke up at 7 for no damn good reason at all. Actually, 6:30. So I've been up a long time, too. So I feel you. This is going to be the yawning stream, guys.
Faith is Abdication. Better than Black Panther by a country mile. I thought Black Panther was okay. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't, $2 billion okay, whatever. It wasn't like the greatest movie ever made, but it was fine. But this is way better than Black Panther. Okay, well, not a whole lot happened today, I suppose, except for a pledge between North and South Korea to end the war. Because technically it never stopped. Kim Jong-un has pledged a new history in relations with his neighbor as he became the first North Korean leader to set foot in South Korea since the end of the Korean War in 1953. In a moment rich with symbolism and pomp, South Korean leader Moon Jae-in and Mr. Kim shook hands at the border. Mr. Kim said it was the starting point for peace after crossing the military line that divides the peninsula. It comes just months after warlike rhetoric from North Korea. Much of what the summit will focus on has been agreed in advance, but many analysts remain skeptical about the North's apparent enthusiasm for engagement. The leaders were met on Friday by an honor guard in traditional costume on the South Korean side. The pair walked to the Peace House in Panmunjom, a military compound in the demilitarized zone between the two countries. So yeah, basically it's essentially just glorified lip service at this point, but it is historically significant.
You have a super chat, and then there's something we need to do real quick.
Okay, thank you, Tierra Diamantes. I would share your videos if I could turn back time.
Oh my God! Kill yourself.
Okay.
Green Death has asked if the three of us would say hi to his 2-month-old niece. He says she won't know really what's going on, but she's listening along with him tonight. So, Catherine. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Hello, Kathy. Welcome to the world. It is a cruel and harsh mistress. Be prepared.
Run away.
Learn to laugh, kiddo. Learn to laugh. Okay, and with that, you know, it is lip service at this point. That's true. But it is lip service we've never heard before.
Yes.
And this is coming from a crazy dictator. So it's amazing. It really is. And I don't know if people today realize the significance of it, because Korea hasn't been a big thing for a long time, except for, the occasional bomb scares.
Right.
This is fucking incredible. And did you see CNN trying to give Lil Kim's sister credit for this shit?
No, really?
Yes. Meet Kim's sister, whatever fuck her name is, who people say is very instrumental in what's happening right now. Like, you fucking people can't even give Trump this. You know it's his doing. Come on, fuck off.
Yeah.
CNN.
I mean, I hope it turns into a reality. I hope it isn't just lip service. I hope that at some point there's some kind of, even though it's probably the longest running Cold War in the world, but see, I just don't know what happens after all this. I mean, is Kim Jong-un getting sane, or is he just? I guess I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, because I don't quite believe it, and I don't see how you make up for decades upon decades of just inhuman wretchedness on the side of North Korea.
Easy. You become what everybody loves. Seriously, if Kim can pull this off and then reopen trade negotiations with the rest of the world, money will pour in North Korea. And he takes his shithole little country and turns it into either a massive tourist spot, another Asian country that's pouring out electronics for us to buy.
Yeah.
He can. I mean, right now there's so many sanctions on North Korea. If he follows through on everything, yeah, he can become the guy who saved North Korea.
I guess we'll see. Fingers crossed. I mean, I do, like I say, the cynicism always requires hope. I'm hopeful, but wary, let's say. So believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Did you get to see the video of them shaking hands?
Yes.
That was fucking cool. I got to give him that.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just crossing the line, and yeah, in all honesty, everything else aside, if you had told me just 6 months ago that this would be happening now, I wouldn't have believed you, given what was going on at the time.
Well, my favorite part of that is they shake hands on the South Korean side, and they're obviously supposed to go have the talks in South Korea, but Kim stops him and grabs his hand, and they happily cross back over the border and shake hands on the North Korean side too.
Right.
That was fucking cool. And then and if you see Kim's face when he does, I mean, he's all smiling and happy. Yeah, I really hope this works out. I do.
I do too.
The world doesn't need any more
no.
any more hostility. So this is a good sign.
Yeah. If North Korea defangs itself from being a problem for the rest of us, hey,
Sure.
fine by me. Let's see. The only other news today, aside from the Avengers and North Korea, South Korea, how about some Trump?
Sure. What'd Trump do today?
Well, Trump didn't do anything, but a judge has temporarily put Stormy Daniels' lawsuit on hold. Let's see. California judge halted Stormy Daniels' lawsuit against Michael Cohen for 90 days while the criminal investigation of President Donald Trump's personal attorney moves forward in New York. I don't know why that's news, but CNN had it like big headline thing just before the stream started. I thought maybe there'd be something more to it, like the judge dismissed it or said that it had no merit or something else. They had to retry it, or I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, Tom Brokaw was accused of sexual harassment.
You missed the biggest news of the day. ABBA is recording again.
Is that Monkey or is that me?
Uh-oh.
Sorry, what?
That was Monkey. You're good.
That was Monkey. Okay. Try that again, Monkey. You kind of wavered out there.
Okay. Am I good now?
As far as I can tell.
Cool. Okay. ABBA is recording again.
Ah, yes. Waterloo wasn't there, Waterloo.
That was fucking CNN breaking news at one point today.
I know. Yeah, it's been a slow day. You know.
I don't care how slow the news day is. That is not fucking news.
Well, their big headline for a while was something about to the effect that one of the lawyers involved in the Trump investigation was closer to the Kremlin than first known.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It was that female Russian lawyer. I guess, whatever, let's see. It's not even here anymore. I guess CNN decided it wasn't that important anymore. Probably because they came to their senses.
Well, we have a little bit of time before we get into MSS News, right? Because I do want to discuss one of these stories. The Tom Brokaw one. I want to talk about this for a minute. This is coming out because of a story in Variety. There's a she's younger than Tom, news anchor who's come out and said that he tried to kiss her a couple of times. He showed up at her hotel unannounced. And I think there was an accusation of grabbing her butt too. But the part that really bugs me about this story is in the Variety story, they say that they had corroborated this with two people or two friends of the accuser who she told this to at the time. That's not corroborating.
No.
If I tell Scribe tomorrow that I banged left cheek and right cheek, it's still a fucking lie because I haven't done it. Just telling your friends something doesn't make it a certainty. That is not fucking evidence. And that shit needs to stop because a lot of these hashtag Me Too stories, that's their evidence. Oh, I told a friend. That's not fucking evidence. Stop it. That's all.
How long ago was it supposed to have happened?
Oh God, I know this, but it's been, excuse me. I have to bring up this story. It's been a while since I read this. In the 90s. Well, she was a correspondent in the 90s.
Here, I'll find it. 1 second. Let's see. What? Hold on. CNN's playing a video in my ear. Tom Brokaw rails against sexual harassment allegations. Okay. Tom Brokaw says he did not intend for this rough draft of a letter to be widely read. Rough draft of a letter.
What letter?
But it was published on Friday. An extraordinary defense of his character and reputation of the and a repudiation, of the sexual harassment allegations made by former NBC colleague Linda Vester. He describes Vester's statements to the press as a drive-by shooting. Brokaw, the former anchor of NBC Nightly News, is one of the country's best-known journalists. He's one of the best-known news readers.
Yes.
I think a journalist does a bit more legwork than most
anchors are generally not journalists, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, they might have been journalists that ascend to a position of that. Like Peter Jennings was all over the world as a correspondent forever before he was ABC. But anyway, He is currently a special correspondent for NBC News. He feels his reputation is being besmirched. Oh, yeah. And he believes he is the real victim. In the letter, which was sent to several colleagues, Brokaw said Vester is a character assassin with a grudge against NBC News. Quote, she has unleashed a torrent of unsubstantiated criticism and attacks on me more than 20 years after I opened the door for her and a new job at Fox News, Brokaw said in the letter, a copy of which was obtained by CNN. Vester was a young reporter at NBC when, she alleges, Brokaw harassed her in the early 1990s. Quote, I was groped and assaulted by Tom Brokaw, then the anchor of NBC Nightly News, Vester said in a video interview with Variety, rather than a video interview with the police in the 1990s. Both Variety and the Washington Post interviewed Vester for stories that were published on Thursday. The Post story was part of a broader examination of sexual harassment issues within NBC News. Or how about alleged sexual harassment issues? Has anybody been convicted of anything yet at NBC? Vester told the Post that she came forward because, quote, NBC has failed to hire outside counsel to investigate a genuine, long-standing problem of sexual misconduct in the news division after something that happened in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Okay. Vester's attorney on Friday reiterated this point in a statement written in response to Brokaw's letter, saying her client, quote, observed that the company's response does not appear to be aimed at producing a safer and more equitable workplace for women. After something that happened in the 1990s, you're only coming out about now.
Oh yeah, it's a huge epidemic, but our only example is it's almost
20
40
years, 30 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't say anything then because it wasn't relevant, but let's see. Vester was a correspondent and anchor at NBC until 1999 when she moved to Fox News. She left Fox and the TV business in the mid-2000s. Okay, so she hasn't been in the industry for at least 8 years, let's say, or more. And this happened 30 years ago. Okay. Brokaw's Friday letter asserted that he played a key role in introducing Vester to Fox News boss Roger Ailes, who later hired her. So you went from NBC to Fox News, and you're complaining that NBC has a sexual harassment problem? You got some. If you're right, if you're correct, you've got a lousy choice in employers on that score. Let's see.
She followed the dick. Sorry.
I don't know. Like I say, Tom Brokaw could be a complete skis for all I know.
Yes, he could. Yeah. But all of this rests on two things: her saying it and her telling her friends. That's their corroboration. Oh, and they read her diary. They read her diary from back then.
That reminds me of the UVA thing, because part of the quote unquote corroborative evidence was that what's her name told her friends it happened.
Yep.
And most of them didn't believe her or whatever. So, yeah. Irene Bear's here.
Hey, Bear.
Hey, Bear.
Most of these stories like this, I've seen this. Well, I told my friends. That's not evidence. Tell the police.
Yeah.
Why would I tell the police? What good would that do?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard compelling arguments from people who have, provably been victims of rape or sexual assault. That, fear or the social group that they were in or the circumstances of their employment or their life or anything else, if they came forward, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of potential downfalls to making an accusation like that if you don't have more proof than what you say, or more proof than just your word. But these days, all you need is your word, apparently. I don't like either of those scenarios. I don't like the idea that somebody can't feel like they can tell the authorities when something bad happens to them because of social pressure. On the flip side, I don't like it when people don't tell the authorities, but just say it happened and then get all the credit in the world as though it actually did. It just, I don't.
Well, see, this is one of those things that I've talked about before, is with, she left there in 99, it said?
Yes.
So basically 20 years ago. And it wasn't for whatever reason she didn't go to the police or to NBC or anybody important at that time. But now, for some reason, 20 years later, she just has to get it off her chest.
Yeah, I can't turn off my skepticism when you add in those facts is the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she may be completely telling the truth, and Tom Brokaw might have been a complete skis in that moment or longer and longer. Same thing with Bill Cosby. The problem is having evidence. The problem is proving it when you come forward decades after the fact. If the statute of limitations hasn't already hit it, it's the absolute absence of either physical evidence or the fading memories of anybody who might have been witnesses at the time, or et cetera. It just, I don't know. It just, I don't want to outright call someone a liar. I don't want to outright exonerate somebody at the same time. But if there's no evidence, I don't know what to do with that otherwise, you know?
Look, I'm not trying to exonerate him at all here. This is very much like the Bill Cosby thing. He could be as dirty as they say he is. But I told somebody is not evidence. I told a friend is not evidence, period.
Yeah, I keep looking back to the Jian Ghomeshi case up in Canada. He was a radio show host. He got accused of horrible sexual assaults and everything else by 2 or 3 women. He was brought to trial for it. And when the women were brought up on the stand, they had to explain why they were still emailing him sexy photos of themselves after the alleged assaults, why they were communicating with each other on Facebook to seemingly collude to get their facts straight before they went to trial. I mean, it is entirely possible that somebody can be falsely accused because of spite or jealousy or something else. It has happened. It'll happen again. I just, I hate being on the outside looking at this and thinking this is the standard people are going to start living by or walking on eggshells around. And there's no solution for it because, an accusation is all that's needed. Then we're in very dire times. Anyway, I could go on about that for much longer, but like I said,
Green Death, Tom Brokaw has been accused of molesting somebody back in the 90s.
Yeah. Sorry, Satsu.
Should I because like sometimes when you guys are getting deep into these topics, I'm doing some Twitter surfing to look for fuckery. And I'm trying to debate on if we should have a moment where I put together some of the shit that I find. Because
are you suggesting a new segment to this show, Satsu?
I don't know, but I'll be wanting to blurt it out when I read it, and I'm just like, I don't want to interrupt.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we make YouTube drama time internet drama time?
Internet fuckery time.
There you go. And so if you want to collect some Twitter nonsense to recite to us when we get to internet drama time, we can do that too.
Okay,
because I mean, half the time we're talking about either YouTube or Twitter wars anyway, so might as well call it just internet drama time. So, or just drama time in general. But until then, let us move on to MSS News. Guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us using the hashtag MSS News on Twitter. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll definitely look at as many as we can. Let me scroll down to try to catch up to kind of where we left off yesterday. And thank you guys so much for all these stories. Holy cow, there's a lot here today. We appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, we got a lot of people sending us stories about the Golden State Killer. I don't know if there's anything new there. I know they released a thing saying last year they used the same process that they used to find the guy. They accidentally found a different guy that wasn't the killer, and they thought he was, and he was like questioned and identified falsely at first.
I saw a thing real quick about that on Twitter. There was a journalist reaching out to people who have done like 23andMe or any other DNA service online.
Yes.
Asking for anybody who's concerned about their privacy being violated to reach out, because apparently that's how they caught him. Was through it wasn't because he had done something else and they tested his DNA. He had it tested somewhere else and it got a hit or something.
Interesting.
So if you've committed crimes, guys, don't use 23andMe.
23andMe, which was founded, if I'm not mistaken, by Susan Wojcicki or whatever, of YouTube CEO now. This one comes from Massive Dynamics, speaking of true crime. And this is of, I guess, tangential importance to me because it deals with redheads. Police investigate link between red-haired severed heads found 150 miles apart. Police in 2 U.S. states are investigating whether there is a link between the severed heads of 2 red-haired women found 150 miles apart. Both the victims are described as white women of approximately the same age, and both the heads were found in plastic bags near lakes. The first head was found on March 1st near Calcasieu Lake, Louisiana, by a prison inmate who was helping to clean up marshland. Forensic analysis suggests the woman was between 25 and 40 years old with reddish-brown hair between 10 and 12 inches long. The second head was found 150 miles away at Lake Houston in Texas on March 24th by local volunteers cleaning up the area. I would investigate cleaning services, roadside cleaning. Thank you, Snubbers. I may be late, but it's never too late to be a colonizer. Yay! Right. And thank you, Einar Jameson. I'm fucking that up, aren't I? Carpe phallus amicus. Sees the dick. That sees the dick.
I don't know what that is.
Because carpe diem sees the day. So carpe phallus sees the dick. Or sees the happy dick. I don't know what amicus means. I don't speak Latin.
Latin.
Subconjaz. Look out, Scribe. They might confuse you for a lady. That would be exceedingly difficult. I don't have red hair. And I decidedly don't look like a female. Let's see. Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences describes this victim as white or Hispanic between young adulthood and middle-aged. Her hair was dyed red, and her eyebrows were tattooed, which is always... what do you think about tattooed eyebrows?
Look, I've been criticizing drawn on all my life, but tattooed ones just... That is like next level shit, right? I mean, I can if something happened to where you cannot grow them anymore, then fine. But I don't think there's any artist good enough to like make it look convincing.
I think people need to stop worrying so goddamn much about their eyebrows.
Okay, Massive Dynamics is on a roll today because his second story.
Is it about butter?
No. Man walks calmly through alley holding his wife's decapitated head.
Dear Lord.
What?
A man has been caught on camera walking calmly through the streets of China while holding his wife's head after he decapitated her. The man, identified only as Zhang, 31, is accused of slaughtering her in their flat. He is believed to have walked out of the front door with the head and then taken it to a waste transfer station to dispose of it. The footage, I mean, there's like that stills of it, but he's like walking down a street with other people around looking at their phones. He's just walking along.
What?
Maybe people think like, like he's fucking around or he's Kathy Newman. Oh, wait, what's her name? Damn.
Kathy Griffin? Kathy Newman?
Griffin. God damn, who the fuck is Kathy Newman?
I don't know. Chilling CCTV has also emerged of the moment Zhang walked out the front entrance of his building, holding his wife's head in his left hand. Another unidentified man accompanies him as he calmly walks through the alleyway moments before disposing of his spouse's head. Shockingly, no one appears to notice the woman's head during the short clip. Reports said the victim's head was later retrieved from the transfer station by the authorities, who carried it away in a cardboard box. Has he been arrested?
At least he didn't litter.
Oh, thank you, Monkey. That's what I needed to hear.
I mean, he could have just thrown it on the street.
Okay, Massive Dynamics, what is wrong with you? No, seriously. Okay, here's the next one. Chicago police spot elderly woman pushing another woman's body in a shopping cart.
Apparently Kathy Newman was the person who interviewed Jordan Peterson. That crazy.
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
That's
All
what
right. All right. An elderly woman was found pushing a shopping cart with another woman's dead body inside on the south side of Chicago Saturday night. Officers responding to a call for a wellness check located the woman and the cart shortly before 8 p.m. The deceased woman's remains were transported to the Cook County Medical Examiner pending identification. Information about the cause of death was not immediately available. A Chicago police spokesman said the woman found with the cart had been taken to a local hospital for evaluation. No decision had been made about whether to file charges. Okay.
Maybe it was her friend.
Yeah, it's like she died, didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah. I'm going to reserve judgment on that. Yeah, that one, I think it was probably just a friend thing. I would do that with either of you if you died and we were together. I'd put you in a shopping cart and push you around.
Thanks, Monkey.
I'm a friend, man.
It would be a short trip since you can't move more than about 10 feet before falling over.
That's true, but I would still do it because that's how much I love you guys.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be walking, get a fucking cramp or something, push the cart comically down the street, and rolls into the freeway.
I can see the headline now. Cripple man pushing around dead black man in shopping cart killed when he went into the wrong neighborhood.
Oh, my God.
Let's see.
Nobody would care if I had a white guy.
This one comes from Ramen Lewis.
Ramen.
Autism rates continue to climb, and experts don't exactly know why.
I know.
I think I have a guess. Can I guess, and you can tell me if I guessed what you were going to say?
Sure.
Autism continually gets diagnosed for things that aren't autism.
They continually add to what autism means.
That too. Yes, the definition expands, bringing in more people under the tent.
Look at JF's girlfriend. Before she was diagnosed as autistic, she was diagnosed with developmental disorder, and for some reason that got drug into autism. And anybody with that disorder, bam, they're all in there now. And look, the number of people with autism rose. Well, yeah, that happens.
Let's see. Autism rates in school children jumped 15% between 2012 and 2014, continuing a 2-decade rise, according to the latest data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which does not detail the reasons for the increase. Okay. Maybe you want to do that. In a count of 11 communities across the United States, about 1 in 59 8-year-olds had autism in 2014, up from 1 in 68 in 2012. Overall, autism rates have climbed 150% since 2000, when the figure was 1 in 150 children. The rise is partly driven by increasing diagnoses among African American and Hispanic children who are narrowing the diagnostic gap with their white classmates. Oh, they're catching up. What? I don't get it.
You know what? When you keep diagnosing everything as autism, it's going to go up. Do this. Freeze what we call autism right now. Don't add anything else to it for the next 5 years and see if it doesn't stable off.
In the 2012 report, white children were diagnosed 50% more often than Hispanic children and 20% more than African American children. In the latest report, that gap shrunk to 20% among Hispanics and 10% among blacks. Okay, so autism is shying away from Hispanics and blacks, and
it was. It was, but now they're getting infected too.
I don't understand. This is okay. What frustrates me about this article is like the numbers are going up. We have no idea why. Well, maybe you should look into that. Maybe you should figure that part out. But just saying the numbers are going up doesn't mean anything if you don't have an explanation for it or try to. I know what the explanation is. It's just, it seems like a silly article to just say, oh, the numbers are going up. Don't know why.
No, I agree with you. I do. It's meaningless because.
Yeah. Okay, boy, this is just the day for it. This also comes from Ramen Lewis. But it might as well have come from Massive Dynamics because Mexican rapper admits to dissolving students' bodies in acid.
Okay.
Oh.
A Mexican rapper and YouTube star confessed this week to dissolving the bodies of 3 missing film students in acid at the behest of a drug cartel. Well, if this isn't a movie in the making, Christian Omar Palma Gutierrez, better known as QBA, has been detained over the deaths of Salomon Acevedos Gastelum, 25, Daniel Diaz, 20, and Marco Avolis, 20. Sorry, what, Monkey?
Are you telling me this Mexican's name is Cuba?
K-U-B, oh, sorry, Q-B-A, Cuba.
Cuba, all right.
Cuba. He confessed to state prosecutors that he disposed of the bodies after the 3 victims were kidnapped, tortured, and murdered. Gutierrez admitted that a friend recruited him 3 months ago to work for the Jalisco New Generation Drug Cartel. The Jalisco New... That sounds like a health spa. And that he received 3,000 pesos, nearly $159 a week. Okay. Thank you, Snubberth. You're preventing me from having to join a drug cartel right now. They are mad every school shooting by a white guy is labeled mental illness, so they are trying to appropriate autistic privilege. That's one theory. So wait, for $159 a week from a drug cartel, this guy dissolved bodies.
He must be a really good rapper.
I was about to say, you know, dude, your YouTube, do some live streams or something. You'll never have to join a drug cartel.
He's one of those rappers that's constantly trying to get you to listen to his demo.
That is insane, dude.
Well, here's the thing. Gutierrez's YouTube channel boasts more than 125,000 subscribers, and many of his videos include images of poor neighborhoods, drugs, and weapons. Others feature the rapper and his friends showing off luxury vehicles and motorcycles. But for $159 a week, he'll melt a body for you. Okay.
Well, that's what that stuff costs in Mexico, man.
I guess so. That's just so weird.
Why did he admit to it?
Let's see.
That's the part that interests me. I mean, if he dissolved him in acid, nobody's going to find him.
Oh. Let's see. The 3 victims had unwittingly been filming a school project at a former hangout for members of the Nueva Plaza gang in Jalisco when they were abducted in March. Although the home belonged to one of the students' aunts, hitmen from the Jalisco New Generation cartel were watching the house after a Nueva Plaza honcho's release from prison. But they mistook the students for members of the rival gang, with whom they had been battling over drug turf, and abducted them on a road near the house while dressed as police officers. Jesus. Okay, well, that's crazy. $159. All right.
Do I sound weird to anybody? Shiograth says I sound weird.
No.
Well, you are monkey. I don't know.
Heh. There's no new mic or anything. I do have a working computer again, though. All my RAM is back. Yay! Sorry.
Angry Introvert sends us this one. Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez orders special reduced charges for illegals to keep them from being deport. I'm reading this as written, guys, from being deport. So they forgot the ed at the end of that. Let's see. Brooklyn, New York City. Acting Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez announced a new policy on Monday to give illegal immigrants better plea deals than American citizens get. His goal is to protect these immigrants from deportation, which could result from their prosecution. The DA's policy comes right on the heels. Apparently not. Comes right on the heels of criticism from President Trump and Attorney General Jeff Sessions that, quote, New York City brass is soft on crime, according to the New York Post. Looks like they're right. This comes from the Blue Lives Matter blog, I guess. In a statement, DA Gonzalez said that he is, quote, committed to equal and fair justice for all Brooklyn residents, citizens, lawful residents, and undocumented immigrants alike. equal and fair, except you're going to give special treatment to illegal immigrants over citizens. Okay, dude. Yeah.
For the record, guys, I have been talking quite a bit today. This is my third stream of the day. And I do have a little pain in my chest, but it'll pass. I'll be good.
Yeah, he had a face hugger on his face earlier. That's why.
I did get to see Little Butt today.
Oh, how is Grand Monkey?
Oh, she was so cute and funny today. Her uncle bought her new Legos, well, new Duplos, and it's Batman and Penguin, and it comes with a little penguin as well. And so we played Legos, and she was her Belle, and I was Batman, and the Legos played hide and seek.
Ooh. Oh, that's nice. What's this?
Lady Monkey says maybe it's a tumor. For a minute there, I was actually concerned that it was a heart attack, but that part is past. I'll be all right.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
New Fate 26 sends us this one. I think I saw this somewhere else. Natalie Portman. Holocaust is no more tragic than other genocides. Why is this news?
Right.
Oh, this is from August 23rd, 2015. Okay, good job, guys.
Scribbles,
Yes.
there's a story that I posted to MSS News, but it's not my story. Somebody else had given it to me.
Okay.
Look for that one, because that one will go with some of what we've been talking about already.
Okay. Well, I will. I'll do yours, and then I will do a selection of Colleen Bernier stories.
Cool. Okay.
So this one comes from Ranting Monkey by way of Dankula's Adam's Apple, which used to be, I think, Riley's Adam's Apple.
Riley's, yeah.
And a video is going to play in my ear, isn't it? Let me wait for that. Stop. Okay. LAPD officer arrested for trying to smuggle immigrants across border. Okay. A Los Angeles police officer has been arrested on federal charges alleging he tried to smuggle 2 illegal immigrants into the United States this week in southeastern San Diego County. Mambase Colabolo Patara, I'm probably fucking that up, has been charged with violating immigration laws according to a federal complaint filed Wednesday. He was arrested early Tuesday morning at a U.S. Border Patrol checkpoint in Pine Valley, located about 12 miles north of the U.S.-Mexico border. According to the complaint, at 12:15 a.m. Tuesday, Patara drove up to the checkpoint with 2 male passengers in a 2006 Toyota Corolla. While being interviewed by Border Patrol agents, Kulabolo, I know I'm saying that wrong, showed them his LAPD badge and stated he was off duty, the complaint states. Agents later patted him down and found his service-issue gun in his waistband. The officer reportedly told border agents his 2 passengers were U.S. citizens. The men, identified as Herman Lopez and his nephew German Ramirez Gonzalez, eventually admitted they were in the country illegally. One of the men said they had known Colabolo for years and had worked with him in his Fontana home. He added they had decided to go to a casino in Alpine in southern San Diego County before heading to another one in Campo and ending up at the border checkpoint near Pine Valley. All 3 men were transported to the Campo Border Patrol Station and arrested around 1:30 a.m. Back at his home in Fontana, neighbors were in disbelief. Quote, "I heard what happened and I'm really shocked," said one woman. They've always just been a really nice family ever since my husband and I have lived here. Blah, 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 blah. I just don't believe he's doing that, another neighbor told CBS. I don't believe at all that he's capable of doing something like that.
Whoa, okay, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. What? Okay, I get it. Smuggling in like illegal immigrants or whatever, but like how that's a bad thing to do because it's against the law. But like, how does that inherently make them bad people? It's just like, I didn't know they were like, wow, that's horrible. It's just like, no, they got friends who they knew for a long time, and they were illegally bringing them into the country, which is dumb and it's bad. But I'm pretty sure the neighbors are not a bad dude.
The neighbors are treating it like they found bodies in his yard.
Right. I'm just like, what the fuck kind of response is? Oh, really? It's just like, come on. It's not. I mean, yes, it is illegal and it is a bad thing to do. But Jesus, they didn't just tell you that he fucking slaughtered babies in his basement.
I just thought that goes with a lot of what we've seen out of California. Law enforcement just not caring about illegals.
At least, I mean, like it wasn't like he was smuggling in like white slavery or something like that. But yeah.
Well, this is what happens. You find people named Herman in German.
Herman and German.
Okay, we'll do one more before we get to YouTube time. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. We'll end on a funny note in relative terms as soon as this video doesn't play. You're going to play anyway, aren't you? I love it when I like say pause or stop and then it plays anyway. Woman smashes window at New York City Popeyes because $4 Wicked Good deal doesn't come with soda.
That is the most expensive meal she will ever have.
Oh my God.
Police are looking for a woman captured on surveillance video smashing the front window of a Popeyes restaurant with a chair, apparently angry because her $4 Wicked Good deal didn't come with a soft drink. It happened at a Popeyes on Forest Avenue in Staten Island Sunday, according to the NYPD. Security video shows the woman flipping off employees, then picking up a sign and throwing it. Finally, she uses a chair to smash a window. An employee who didn't want to be identified told News 4 the customer was drunk and angry because the $4 Wicked Good deal didn't come with a soda. Employees tried to explain that the deal includes an order of the Wicked chicken strips plus a side, a buttermilk biscuit, and dipping sauce, but does not include a soft drink. They told her she was confused and may have been thinking of Wendy's $4 meal deal, but she was so irate she couldn't be reasoned with. Yeah, okay, so a window for a Coke. Good job.
Oh boy.
Damn it.
People get really like serious about fast food. Like the type of attitudes I see that people get at a fast food place for something just small. It's impressive.
You want to see a horrible reaction. Work at a fast food place the day that they increase the price of a senior citizen's drink.
Oh, God.
Boy.
Those old people will lose their fucking minds.
Real quick, this is kind of a news story, but I want to... so Colleen Bernier sent us a story about how they're doing a live-action Kim Possible movie.
Oh boy. So a new Tomb Raider, huh?
Well, they actually got kids here, like actual kids.
Oh.
What?
Well, Kim Possible is like a kid show.
Yeah,
but Kim Possible herself is like a teenager.
Well, it is. I mean, she looks like a teenager. I mean, they look age appropriate to the characters. Let me put it that way. The other thing, though, is I found out today. Guess what? Toy line they are developing into a film right now. It's from Monkeys and Mai's generation. Let's say.
Weebles.
No. It was not Masters of the Universe popular, but not as bad as GoBots.
Oh, I was going to go with GoBots until you said that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mask.
Oh, Mask. Yeah.
They are developing Mask apparently into a film or a film series or something. I loved Mask. I thought Mask was cool when I was a kid.
Yeah.
The toy that I wanted that I never got was Jackhammer. The guy with the RV, not the RV, was like a Bronco, like a Ford Bronco or something, but the canopy popped up in the back into a gun turret and all that stuff, and the front end was like a battering ram. I always thought that was the coolest thing. But yeah, Mask. And also Masters of the Universe has found its directors.
They need to get whoever made that commercial.
No, it's going to be two guys who made some video with a DVR camera or something. I'm not even kidding. It's like two guys. Apparently, Sony owns the rights to it, unfortunately. And apparently, they're just making whatever this movie is going to be to hold the rights. They have to, or they lose the license. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be shit. Thank you, Snubbers. Kim Possible's original VA got nude in a movie. That is all.
What movie?
A voice actor.
Did she look like Kim Possible?
I doubt it.
Who is Kim Possible's original voice actor? I've never watched the show. I know of it. I don't know anything about it.
I've seen a lot of the show. I just never never thought to look who her voice actor was.
No, I mean, I don't really care who the voice actors are. You know, unlike some people that need to have them be look the same as the character they're doing the voice of. Apparently,
No, I don't care if she looks like her. I was thinking if she got nude, I mean, a redhead nude, I'm cool with that.
That is also true. Okay.
As long as she's not 15.
Yes. All right. Well, let's move on to the wonderful world of YouTube time.
Yay!
Satsu, what have you been up to?
Well, I did a video on the whole Kanye situation, and basically I was talking about escaping from the I'm going to use the term that everybody's been using, the Democratic plantation, and their big push against freedom of thought for anybody who happens to look a certain way. So if you're interested in that, you can go check that out. Just talking about the situation. I know Jack just apologized, fucking Twitter dude, just apologized to Candace Owens for that article that they put out calling her far right.
Oh.
Yeah. He apologized to her, and people are pissed that he apologized to her because they're like, she's obviously far right. And I'm like,
she's really not.
No, she's not. Like, come on, dude. But, you know, literally anywhere that's not complete 100% left is far right. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Did you see Chance the Rapper came out and apologized?
Oh yeah. God. Yeah. Well, I know the only thing I had saw after he said what he said was the fact that he did not want Trump's thank you for backing up Kanye. Yeah,
that's fine. But he came out and apologized for backing Kanye. And so basically, all he said was, "You don't have to be a Democrat if you're black."
Mm-hmm.
That was him backing up Kanye, and yeah, came out and had to apologize for that. That's fucking retarded. And I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but
that might be what my next video is going to be about.
Yeah.
Other than that, didn't do much else today. Me and Monkey, I believe, are playing 7 Days tonight.
Yes, we are. And I've been looking forward to it.
Yes, I have to. But yeah, that's all for me.
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, I did a quick high-level review of Avengers Infinity War after I got home from it. And other than that, don't have anything else I did today. Sunday, Monkey and I on my channel here will be reviewing Darkman on movies you should have watched, which is accidentally appropriate for the weekend since this is Avengers weekend after a fashion, and Darkman is a superhero of a kind, which a character and a concept I still think is really cool. And if only they had done sequels that were a justice to the first film. But Monkey's never seen it, so I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts on it when we talk about it on Sunday. And other than that, that's all I've been up to. Monkey?
Well, I didn't make any videos, but Weebo asked me if I would do the second half of, what's it called, My Immortal, the infamous Harry Potter fan fiction. We'd read the first half of it, the first 22 chapters, I think it was, on a previous stream. And we did the last half of it today, and that it's funny if you watch the stream. The story itself is fucking ridiculous, and nobody knows if this was written by a real person trying to write or if this was a troll of other fan fiction. Either way, it's funny as fuck, and I had a lot of fun with that, which is probably where my voice is, guys. Sorry about that. And prior to that, I was on Mundane Matt's stream.
Oh.
Which is a good segue right into drama time. I don't mean to
that was a dramatic pause.
Direct your show, but it is a wonderful segue. because the reason I was on Mundane Match Show is we were on there to discuss fair use. During Kilroy, the first night of Kilroy, Mundane Matt did a live stream, and at the end of it, Mr. Mediker came on, and they actually had a pretty pleasant conversation. Jim was, poking a little fun, and Matt was having a little fun back. It was never like angry or anything. Excuse me. And for some reason, Cognitive Thought took the part with Jim and posted it onto his own channel, as he called it, an archive, a fair use archive. There's no such fucking thing. But Matt gave him a DMCA for it. And frankly, rightfully so. If you steal someone's content, it's well within their rights to strike you down for it. And there's a lot of talk about, oh, he should have talked to him first. Well, maybe. But Cog should have talked to Matt before he took his shit.
Well, John Pierre says Jim gave Cog permission, but does Jim have the authority to give Cog permission to use content on his channel?
Jim has no permission to give in that situation. Sorry, Jean-Pierre. Doesn't work that way. It was on Matt's channel. Matt owns it. It was Matt's live stream. Like right now, this is Scribe's live stream. We have our show, but this is his live stream. So what happens with this is up to him, not me. That's just how it is.
Opinions stated by those who are guests on this show are not necessarily those of the show owner. Also, Monkey just directed my show without asking me first. So what happens on this show is totally up to me.
Well, what are you going to do? That's the
Nothing.
question.
I have no fucking power.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There's a new thing that's been popping up, these archive channels. And mostly what they are is people who take clips from Kumite with permission from Kumite to do so and upload them as videos on their channel. And that's fine because they have permission to do so. You cannot take somebody's work without their permission and upload it. You just can't.
Are they monetized?
Doesn't matter.
I'm just curious.
I apparently it was, but on those channels, yes, I believe they are. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's actually a cool thing for Tonka to do, to give people that permission, because I mean, literally the longest one I've seen is Tonka's had an 11-hour live stream. And if you're just looking for the most interesting part of it, yeah, you go to one of these archive channels and pull it up. And that's really cool of Tonka to do, but he doesn't have to do it. And if you don't have somebody's permission to do that, it's stealing, period. And nobody owes you shit for it. They don't owe you it's nice if they reach out to you, that's fine, but they don't have to. And this idea that, well, they didn't know. Here's the thing. If you walk through a grocery store and you eat a grape, you might not know you're stealing, but you are. And you're not, and your defense when you go before the judge is not going to be, I didn't know, because he's going to go, too bad, you stole. Matt has since, from what I haven't checked with Matt, but during the live stream, Cog was on there and they came to an understanding, and Matt was going to withdraw his strike. So no harm, no foul. But yeah, guys, don't steal other people's shit.
Or at the very least, give a heads up.
I know that there's a couple of channels that almost religiously mirror Jim's stuff, primarily because you never know when Jim's going to delete his channel, because he does that. And he's done that a lot of times. I think Mr. Mediker is probably the longest running channel he's ever had, because Internet Aristocrat and Jim 81 Jim and all the other ones that we don't even know about because they're hidden in the internet somewhere, he'll just do videos for like a couple of months and then go dark for like 6 months before popping up somewhere else. So in those situations, I can kind of see it, because I doubt Jim would give a shit.
Well,
but,
see, yeah, that's the thing. Just because Jim doesn't give a shit doesn't mean it's not
right.
It's fair use. I mean, you're lucky if somebody lets you do that, and you should be thankful. But that's not fair use, guys. It's not.
Well, I mean, there's a fuck ton. I think we talked about this before, but like channels that have like archived shit for like all the famous gamers. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
there are channels that literally have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and their whole entire content is like 10 times PewDiePie sneezed during stream or some shit like that. And it's straight up 100% footage of PewDiePie. Like none of it is, the only edit is the fact that they've taken it and like stitched all the times together, but there's no commentary, no nothing. It's just like, here's all his footage. And they could go after all those channels, but they don't.
Of course. Now, this is different than like the kind of videos I do where I respond to somebody's videos, because that is covered under fair use, comment, critique. And we saw that in the H3 thing. I don't hate Cog. I think he's incredibly wrong on this. I think he handled it horribly. And I think the people who are defending him need to step back and look at what actually happened here, because every complaint I've seen about Matt can be applied to Cog. The one that I saw most was he could have reached out to Matt, or Matt could have reached out to Cog. Sure, he could have. And Cog could have done that from the beginning, and this wouldn't have been an issue to start with.
Thank you, Snubberth. Fair use or not, Cog archiving strikes me as collecting gotchas against Matt, given the IBS hate for Matt.
I'm going to hold my tongue on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to hold my tongue on that. Anyway, the other news we had was the official breakup of JF and Andy, which apparently right after they broke up, JF went on and had his own stream about it last night.
Right.
I didn't watch much of it today.
I think I saw a clip from it.
Anybody hoping for a reconciliation, that's probably not going to happen, given what JF was saying there. Basically, he was saying it's not going to happen without saying never. What else happened? Okay, I did this note. Sorry, guys. I'm checking my Post-it notes on my desk. Got both of those. Oh, yeah, so that's all I had. So I don't know about any other drama unless anybody else does.
I don't really have any more drama, but I did have a question for you guys. Have you guys been checking your YouTube analytics over the past week?
I haven't.
Not particularly. Why?
Because I don't know if it's just mine or something like that, but for the past couple streams I've did over the past week, maybe week and a half, the analytics stopped tracking super chats. And
Really?
I was wondering if that was like a
Stop tracking
universal
super
thing.
chats.
Let me see.
Yeah, like yeah.
Is that?
That's him.
That's him. Okay. I was really scared there for a second. Satsu, you're really roboting out.
I do know that they released new analytics earlier on your dashboard. Down in the lower right-hand corner, it shows what's new, and there's a new metrics, it says.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't looked at. I rarely look at my analytics because I don't monetize most of my videos, so it's not really.
Well, I know,
mine's
like
still there.
Ever since I started streaming with you guys, there's like on the days that I stream, there's like obviously there's like a spike, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, but now.
Oh. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, on mine, guy.
Maybe I'm missing something.
If you look at the actual analytics, yeah, on the days that we stream, there's always a spike because those are your super chat nights.
Yeah.
If I look at my last 2 nights, there's no spike.
Yeah, it's like flatline with the rest of it.
What tab are you guys looking at?
Go to analytics and go to revenue.
Just the word revenue?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, revenue. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you're right.
And if you go to the right under revenue, there's a transaction revenue one. And yeah, I'm not showing anything. According to this, I haven't gotten any super chats since the 18th.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, so my last one was the 17th, and then it's all flat from there.
YouTube, we need to talk.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was an issue, and I was thinking like maybe I should bring this up privately, but then I thought like these people, the people here are the ones who have, donated that money, so they should know if we're not getting it. But like I said, it could just be an error. But I was wondering if I was the only one seeing it.
No, apparently not. Yeah. That is odd.
Then all three of you share your screen. Not gonna happen, Jenna.
Yeah.
Love you. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Oh,
I
did
freaked
you
out a little bit when I saw it, and I'm like, okay.
did you have any internet fuckery you'd found?
Oh yeah. Hold on, I gotta go back to it now. There was a couple Twitter posts that I seen. One in particular was chick, her name Feminist Next Door. It says, "Can you name all 59 women who came forward against Bill Cosby? Can you name half of them? Can you even name 5? Would you recognize them out of context?" And she said, "The answer to all these questions is probably no. So can we agree that women don't make rape accusations to become famous?" And I'm like, no, we can't agree to that, because just because this situation is the case, that doesn't mean that there have been no other women who have come forward in a situation to gain recognition by crying rape. Like, you can't just definitively say this situation, none of the women are like that, and you don't remember who they are, and none of them got famous. Therefore, this is a definitive proof that no woman has ever done it.
Well, and in the Cosby case, there are several of those women who did. One of the now, I don't know what happened with this one. He got charged with rape on, but several of the prior cases, especially the one that so much news was made about, his deposition where he admitted he had gotten pills. He never said he was getting those pills for or to give them to people illegally. Well, I don't want to say illegally, without their knowledge. And we're talking about the 70s and 80s when, let's face it, drug culture in Hollywood was huge. It's not hard to imagine, and I'm not saying this happened. I'm just saying it's not hard to imagine a woman willingly taking drugs and sleeping with a very famous man, hoping to help her career. So I always had problems with some of the way they frame that, because like in that deposition, he doesn't say, yes, I got drugs so I could drug women and have sex with them when they're asleep. He said, yeah, I got drugs. And those are two different things. So one, yeah, there are some of them who got famous. What's the one chick's, the model, the ugly bitch. God damn it. Her name's on the tip of my tongue because my wife used to watch one of her fucking reality shows. But yeah, there's a lot of these people who did that. So
yeah, and then Michelle, you know how much we love Michelle. She jumped in and said that, that's not what she was saying.
Thank you, your boy Pat. Yes, Janice Dickerson.
Okay. Yeah, and she was saying that the notion that any woman has ever done that to become famous is just ridiculous. And I'm just like, look up Mattress Girl, because it ain't really about being famous. Like, sometimes it's just about gaining some type of attention or recognition in some way. Like, they want to be seen, or they want to be the center of attention, or just straight up revenge. They want to get back at somebody and make them look bad, because they know that even if I get caught lying, their lives are over. So doesn't matter. So yeah. I was just I commented on that or whatever, and me and her were going back and forth. But that's pretty much it. I see a few people talking about Streamlabs in the chat or whatever. Like, I have Streamlabs available. Like, the option's always available in the description or whatever, but a lot of people have been veering away from it, because when you do a super chat, you can actually see it up on the screen, and it's colorful and everybody sees it and it gets read out loud. So people have been not wanting to do that because you technically can't see them on screen. You know what I mean? But if this situation does go that way, then we might have to at least until we figure out what's going on, or to make sure that you guys aren't just giving money for no reason.
Lady Monkey says good night.
Good night.
Does it ever help to actually try to email YouTube about these kind of things?
No.
It can, but it's going to be a week or two before you get it. The easiest thing to do, honestly, is to @ them on Twitter. And I'll probably do that after the show. I need to write that down.
Okay.
At YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's I know that I can, and I was actually planning on implementing that onto the screen on my stream before OBS started acting fucking stupid. But yeah.
I have mine set up, and for some reason, last time I set it up, it stopped working after the first the first chat. If people are happy to do it that way, it'll be in my stream description. It always is. You can do it that way, and I'll leave it up so I can read them as they go.
Yeah, Prospero. Like I said, I know that can be done because I was prepping to do it. But OBS started getting really inconsistent on me, and the streams were like late, and it was like not functioning the way it was supposed to be. And I got tired of y'all fucking talking shit about me because of it, so I stopped doing that.
Speaking of super chat, you have one there.
Thank you. Number Mattress Girls porn was weird as hell. Oh God, I saw like still photographs of that. I never watched it. And I thought, why is she making a porno? You heard about this years ago, right? It was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
No.
So Mattress Girl, she made as some kind of like art, I guess. She made a porno in the form of a sort of like hidden camera video style to, I guess, recreate her rape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it makes about as much sense saying it now as it did back then, but yeah, I don't know why Sunburst brought that up. Maybe I missed some reference there or something. Hello? Oh, everybody got really quiet. I was like, what?
Sorry, I was getting ready to send a message to YouTube.
You had a deep topic, I thought, from Satsu or something.
Yes. At the end of last night's show, we were asked if we could find out.
Hello? Hello?
We straight up just lost Monkey.
Okay, Monkey just killed himself, I guess, at least off the stream.
That's bad too because he wrote down the serious topic and I forgot it.
Well, maybe the power went out over there. Oh, now he's back. Why
yeah,
did
that
you
was
do
weird. I was talking and then I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then it closed down and came right back up. Where did you lose me? You
were just about to tell us what the topic was.
Okay. If you knew when and how you were going to die, would you find out? If you could know, would you find out?
Oh, if I could find out how I died?
How and when?
Yeah, how and when you died.
Would that be like knowing that would not thus change the outcome?
I'm assuming so. This is set in stone. This is how and this is when.
Oh. I can see pluses and minuses to that. The pluses being like, well, I know I'm invincible until that date, so I might as well do everything risky.
Well, not necessarily. All that means is you're not going to die. It doesn't mean you're not going to be horribly disfigured.
Oh, that's true too.
Also, if you want to get really philosophical about it, they could mean like how it's set for you to die. Although your actions could change that, but
well, that's what I was asking. Is it set in stone, or is it just like if I have that knowledge, doesn't that inherently mean more likely than not that'll change because I've got some forewarning?
Well, there was an interesting story that I had seen about being able to find out when and if you were like when you were going to die and how. But the weird thing was that what you found out in that exact moment was according to that exact moment. So it could literally change at any time based on whatever decisions you made. Yeah. But as it stands, if you were to ask Death, how am I going to die? He'd tell you at this moment, this is how you're set to die at some point. And when people found that out, because like later on in the story, they found out that was the stipulation, that it could change at any time. They were doing things to try to change it. They're like, well, I'll just do this. Mm-hmm. And Death was like, well, you're going to die like this then. So it was one of those, and it was tormenting. I can't remember what it was though. It was like, it wasn't like a show or anything. It was just like a story that I was reading online. And it was interesting.
Well, yeah, there's been I've seen several things like that where somebody has tried to change fate essentially, but it's like someone is destined to die at a certain point. It's sort of like preordained, and even if you go and switch the circumstances or try to prevent it, it's still going to come and get you. Sort of like Final Destination, sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know that I'd want to know. Because then I'd probably be obsessed with trying to avoid it, like I could do something about it. But if I'm told that there's no way to avoid it, like I'm set in stone, it's going to happen regardless of what I do, then that also means that I have no free will. That'd be kind of a shitty way to have to live my life prior to that point. So,
yeah, I think a lot of people, the main reason a lot of people are even able to go on to that point is the fact that they don't know when it's coming. So you gotta live your life to the fullest. Although that could motivate some people to because they found out and they're like, oh shit, I only got this much time left. Better live it up. But other people are just like, well, fuck, what am I waiting for? It's just get it over.
For me, it comes back to that whole question of who lives better, the man who lives like there's no tomorrow or the man who lives like he's going to live forever. And in either case, I wouldn't want to know when I was going to die, period. Because that would be all consuming to me. Every day would seem to. You ever notice how when you're doing something really fun, time seems to fly?
Mm-hmm.
This wouldn't quite be the same as doing things really fun, but it would be kind of close. I mean, every day would seem to just zip by, and I'd rather it just happen. You have a super chat there.
Thank you. Nope. Satsu was watching Supernatural. Mystery solved.
I have seen Supernatural. I've watched, I think, the first 5 seasons. That show was pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, well, I watched, I think, the first 3 seasons. The first season is a little hard to get into, but after about halfway, they finally pick up steam. But yeah, it's not a bad show. It's male Buffy the Vampire Slayer, basically.
I watched the first episode, and it didn't hook me.
Yeah. I'll just tell you right now, jump to season 2. It's much better.
Oh, okay.
If you had the chance to change what was going to happen, again, that would depend on, is it still going to be the same day and you can just make it a better death, or could you actually change your fate?
Thank you, James Colley. Rufus, the 13th apostle, said it screwed his world up. That's a Dogma reference.
Jenna says that monkey. Okay, somebody asked in chat, what would you drop as loot when you die? And I mentioned titanium because that's in my neck. And Jenna says, Monkey, I may have to return my titanium when I die. Do you have the same problem? I have no idea. As far as I know, I own it.
What would I drop as loot? Goldfish and Dr. Pepper.
For you, somebody said Dr. Pepper and a plunger.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, plunger. That's decent.
And Satsu, for you, they said your oppression points.
You get to claim my oppression points if you kill me in battle.
Satsu's going to drop a PS4 controller.
Most likely.
No, Satsu's going to drop like an anime collection on DVD.
Oh, yeah, that too. Anime and you're going to anime and a controller from him.
Yeah. It's gonna be a PS4 with a Crunchyroll subscription.
Sorry, it was a +2 flogger of plunger. Damn it, says Joe.
Oh,
I apologize.
Everybody's gotta get in on that.
Jim says I paid for my titanium. It goes with me. Yeah, I've been paying for mine. Let me tell you, when they cut you open, it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't have minded it so much this time if I came out of it feeling better. Fucking bastards. I feel like I should get a discount on that last surgery. Do we have any other deep topics?
The Avengers.
I'm going to see that tomorrow, y'all. It was awesome. For no reason at all, Lady Monkey came up to me today and said, we should go see the Avengers. I'm like, yes, we should.
When are you going to watch Darkman?
Probably tomorrow night.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Lady Monkey was asking me when I wanted to go. She said, we can go Saturday or Sunday. I'm like, I'm sorry, booked up streaming Sunday, baby. We got to go tomorrow.
That's true. You like Evil Dead, don't you, Monkey? Or Sam Raimi stuff?
I like Sam Raimi stuff. Some of it.
Okay, then all right. Then I think you'll like this one too because of the art direction and such. Talk about Scribe not doing ads. Yeah, Jean-Pierre's really obsessed with my doing ads.
No, Jean-Pierre, you can still write an ad, put it into Super Chat, and he will read what you wrote.
Yes, I have done that once before now, where somebody basically said, "Scribe, read my ad," and they gave me the text to read, and I was just the announcer voice. But yeah, since a couple of people have been asking me about that lately. Just to reiterate, I put a moratorium on doing ads because I was getting like sometimes, I know it's a really horrible thing to have happen, but I was getting like 15, 16, sometimes 20 ads on a night, and I'd feel compelled to want to live up to the obligation I'd agreed to in having people donate me to return service, basically, and try to get those done at least within a day or two. And writing each of those ads is kind of like having to come up with a whole story. Like, especially if somebody just throws out a concept and I have to come up with a title for a movie and a plot and all this other stuff. It's like writing an outline for an actual story. And when you multiply that by 10, 15, 20 in the course of just a couple of days, it's very taxing. And with work and streaming and everything else, I run out of time and energy. And so I just stressed myself out to the point where I was like, I need to take a step back. And so
no, since I think we all know whose fault that was. No, it wasn't just that.
No, that wasn't. No, it was a contract.
There was one night, it's the one I remember most, where you had 20 fucking ads to do.
22, I think it was.
22, yeah. And it might not seem like much because even when he reads them, if they're just 30 seconds, that's 11 minutes. That's no big deal. Writing it takes a long time.
Yeah, I think for every ad that I'd write, I would sit there, and sometimes I'd wake up like the morning before I'd start working on them, already trying to think of titles and stuff. I'd be walking to work, trying to come up with an idea for how to make this work as an original thing and not be too duplicative of something I've done previously for someone else, and so on and so on. My brain would just go in a million different directions, and it's just how I operate. And I was just tiring myself out, and coming on every night for my nights was becoming not fun because I actually dreaded having to take on that many individual obligations that I knew I had to live up to. Because I take it relatively seriously. I don't take your donations lightly. I didn't take them lightly when I was doing ads, and I certainly don't take them lightly now either. But yeah. Anyway, I could go on. I could go on, but I think I've
every dime you guys give us, I am so thankful for, whether it's for me or for Satsu or for Scribe. It's awesome. You guys are willing to support us like that.
Yeah.
Okay. After you're done, Monkey, I got an update about this conversation.
Oh, hit us up. I had nothing really to add.
Okay. Well, I was responding to Michelle about the people and the accusations or whatever, and she basically pulled the this is not the time for that conversation. Even if we do agree that it does happen, we shouldn't be talking about that when 50 women came forward and one man's voice was the deciding factor. And I told her, I'm like, the proof was not there. People are convicted with evidence. And if they did not have definitive proof, it doesn't matter if 100 people came forward innocent until proven guilty. And then I said, I could easily find 50 people right now to accuse your husband of rape in the next 5 minutes. How would you respond? Like if she didn't know, and I'm waiting for her answer. Like if she had no idea that was my plan, and I found 50 people that just came and just started telling these full elaborate stories about her husband, is she going to be asking for proof then, or is she just going to say, oh, well, 50 people said it, divorce?
If you guys remember when Lacey Green came out with her video about consent, the joke became Lacey Green raped me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and literally thousands of people have said it at this point. So if we're just going by the fact that somebody said it and a whole bunch of people said it, Lacey should be in prison right now.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how she would respond to that, because if she's going by her logic that she's going by now, it is the number of people that's coming forward that matters. It's not about the evidence or the proof. Yeah. So we'll see.
That's also what made the Hillary Clinton's line during the campaign. All women should be believed. Everybody's like,
Right.
really?
Is that right?
Oh, tell me about Bill again.
Yeah, and her response to that was, well, credible.
Oh, okay. Credible accusations, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
That reminds me, like when Dankula walked out of the court and the guy asked him about gassing the Jews, and he's like, "Oh, well, you're now guilty of it, aren't you?" Did you? So what was it? Was it Christy Winters?
Christy Winters today. Oh my god!
Okay, you know this better than I do. You talk about that, because I only saw it for like a second.
Oh, you talking about that stupid ass fucking post she put up that defeated her own logic?
Yeah, right.
Yes. She put up a post today. Got it. Do you have it where you can get to it easily, Satsu? My Twitter is blown the fuck up today.
I do. Hold on, because I called her an idiotic dwarf, and people seem to like that. Hold on, let me see if I
called her a moron, but if I search ranting monkey and moron, do you know how many posts are going to come up?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm about to. Oh, here it is. Okay. She said, "Dankula defenders context." He said it was a joke, and you're ignoring the context. And then she says, "Also, Dankula's defenders, you just quoted the offensive phrase while discussing the case, and now I can accuse you of hate speech by ignoring the context."
Yeah, and she thinks that disproves the two.
She thinks she made a point.
Gotcha.
Like, no, bitch, that's the same point.
Yes,
that is literally the same point.
You fucking dumbass. And she's like, she got that shit proudly up on her page, like, ha, showed them.
Okay, wait, I got to adjust chat real quick. Savannah says, she blocked me because I'm friends with Ranting Monkey. That is not why she blocked you.
Mm-hmm.
She blocked you because you passed a message from Ranting Monkey.
There you go.
The one where I told her she needed to rub one out.
You got she got a PhD.
Yeah, she got a PhD in dumb.
Yep. She got it in silly bitchology.
Well, it just comes back to the whole meme of the left not being able to meme, because that is a meme, you know. Somebody says this and they also say this. It's supposed to show what they're being a hypocrite. You're not supposed to make their point for them, Christy. You stupid bitch.
It was basically her saying, "This is how my opposition defeated me."
Yes. This is the point flying over my head.
Yes, dumbass. And what's bad too is this should have been one of those situations where her friends should have been like, "Hey, I don't want to alarm you, but you're proving their point."
Well, this is one of those points that Bering talked about so long ago. If any of the people in her community actually cared about truth and honesty, and one of theirs not looking like a fucking moron, they'd be like, Christy, this is why you're wrong.
Yeah, like, you need to fix that. Even if it's just for the sake of, you're making us look bad, take that shit down. Then again, though, I don't know if it's still up, because I don't know if Christy Winters blocked me or not. But if it's still up, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I can't believe she posted that out there, tweeted that out, and thought it made any kind of damn sense at all.
Oh yeah, she was like super proud too, like, look what I did. I'm like, oh yeah, we see it. You stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, she has a PhD, sure. That's all I got for Deep Topic.
All right, guys, we're at the bottom of the hour, so it's now chat time. If you have questions, comments, conspiracy theories, complaints, thoughts on how Monkey is, I'm trying to think of something. My brain lost the plot, so I'm trying to think of something.
Sexy as hell.
Yeah, how sexy Monkey is, or what his Avenger name should be. Yeah, what would your superhero name be?
Ranting Monkey.
You know, if Ranting Monkey was your secret identity, what would your superhero name be?
The Big Dick. Take it how you want to.
And you're
The
just
big dick.
And that was my tagline. Take it how you want to.
a really tall detective.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Jean-Pierre says Christie is cheating on Bering and Sargon with Count Dankula? Question mark.
This is one of those times. I don't know if you guys remember it or saw it. There was a magazine or something that Christie had posted to her Twitter that had a guy talking about how he's going to try to beat his wife less, and Sargon made a sarcastic joke about it.
Yeah,
and Christie made a video trying to make it sound like Sargon beats women. And everybody gave her shit for it, because even her fans, this is one of the ones, even her fans were like, come on, Christie, no. It was sarcasm. We all know it. Excuse me. Instead of just admitting her mistake, what she did was to then go to WikiHow, and she made a video explaining how Sargon hadn't used sarcasm correctly, so it's not her fault if her or anyone else didn't get it.
Yeah.
This is who Christie is. She made a mistake on the Dankula thing, and rather than just admit it, she will fucking chew this one until she finds something else to latch onto.
Stunlock Joe says, Satsu, what class will you be trying to play in Divinity Original Sin 2 when I get it, or get you it?
I have no idea about the class system in that game, so probably something with magic, because whenever I played Diablo, I played with the witch doctor and the
it was so fun.
The witch doctor and the fucking wizard, or wait, was it a wizard or was it a mage?
Mage.
Yeah, those were like my main two. And much later, I started playing with like the monk and shit. But the witch doctor was my shit.
Duck Dog says, my question still stands. How bad is the mass transit that you have to walk to work? It's not bad. I just live so close to work that it doesn't make sense to try to take mass transit. I get a good walk out.
Yeah, to spend money. Did you guys see Tariq Nasheed's tweet on the Bill Cosby thing?
Fuck yes.
No.
You know, I've seen a narrative that this is only happening because he's a black man.
Well, look, this Bill Cosby verdict is a perfect lesson for black people. One black person having money does not make you exempt from systematic white supremacy. They use the I'm white and I say so law to take Cosby down. That's because white supremacists know the importance of being on code.
Look, I talked last night about the fact I'm not happy about the way this trial was handled, the evidence that was allowed. But there's nothing in this to suggest racism. Stop it.
Well, their comparison is Trump isn't in prison, and fucking what was it, Charlie Sheen and fucking Weinstein. They're like, they didn't go to jail. So
if you add up all of the people they're accused of sexually assaulting, it doesn't come close to the number that Bill was. So fuck off.
Scribe Light, have you seen Snake Eyes starring Nicolas Cage? Yes, I've seen at least twice. What's a Brian De Palma film? I remember there was a lot of long tracking shots and like going between rooms and stuff, sort of showing the characters and trying to figure out the conspiracy of it all. Yeah, it was interesting flick. I think a little bit overblown, but it was all right.
Did you see Damon Wayans talking about Cosby? I have not.
No.
I love Damon though.
He's the underappreciated Wayne's brother.
I used to love his TV show. And it's another one of those you couldn't make today because like there were times he'd slap his son in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah. Adam Mangold says, Scribe, check out Sargon's new video. He's on your stuff. On my... I don't know what that means. Like he did something on a video I did or something? Okay. I don't know.
Oh, Data, sorry, you asked that earlier. Has anyone seen a channel called Hi, I Think I'm Real, and a video called Andy Worski, the worst YouTuber of all time? We've had Real on the show before.
Yep.
And yeah, I watched that video. I have made videos in response to Real before when he's attacked Andy in ways I thought was unfair. And this time I think his video was perfectly fair.
Let's see. What is your favorite Steve and Stuffy episode? I have no idea what that is.
Me neither.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Is a hamburger a sandwich, says Shiogorath.
Hamburger patty is not, but if you put it into a bun, yes.
Okay.
By the way, just a reminder, they don't make cheeseburger buns.
Malevolent Writer says, where is Cozy? I assume Cozy is like all frilly in her bedroom reading poetry, like she usually
She was
is.
here a little while ago.
Yep, she was here a bit. I don't know where she is now.
Check this
Let's
out,
see,
Monkey.
Cozy.
You want to see an expert level feminist dodge?
Uh-oh. Yes, bring it on.
Yeah. So I told her, if you had no idea that was my plan, but all of a sudden 50 women are sharing their stories about your husband, how would you respond? I seriously want to know. And she said, well, a court just found him guilty. So if we're going by those rules, then I guess my husband would be a rapist. I'm like, bitch, you know I'm not talking about like right now compared to the situation that's going right now after a trial had been made and he has been found guilty. I asked you if 50 women came forward and accused your husband of rape, what would you do? She thinks she's slick. I like Michelle though. I just like talking shit with her or whatever, but I really do like Michelle, but she trying to dodge me right now.
Oh, apparently Steve and Stuffy is a series by Steve Shives.
Oh.
Jenna, how are you feeling lately? Last I remember, you had taken a pretty nasty spill. Are you healing okay?
Average apathetic American, thank you. Is anyone else here a Duke Nukem fan? I would absolutely love a Duke movie, if only how much the left would hate it. They are making a Duke Nukem movie. Or at least it's in development, last I heard. Let me see, what was it? Yeah, John Cena is going to play him.
Okay, no, Stenlock Joe, the cheeseburger bun recipes aren't actually for a bun for cheeseburgers. It's people stuffing cheese into a bun. That's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is a glorified grilled cheese. No.
Oh, I took a look at Sargon's channel. Yeah, he's done a little montage of like college professors giving lectures and things. I didn't watch the video. I don't know if he included any footage from someone that I've covered before, but it's similar to the kind of stuff that I've done before. So yeah, he's basically saying, film your Marxist professor. If you go to college and you have a professor who's spewing this stuff out, film them and post it on YouTube. So we have more, records of what's going on in the universities and such. And I completely agree, because that's really where I think the problems stem from mostly. Is a taco a sandwich?
No, it's a taco.
Corey says power armor is for pussies. I'm just playing through Fallout 4 for the first time, and yeah, I don't have any interest in using power armor. I'm being a sneaky sniper with silencers and stuff, and just picking people off from a distance.
At the end of, I can't remember if it's 1 or 2, the fight that you're in, you have to use the power armor. You're gonna fucking die.
I think it was 2. I believe it was 2 that you needed the power armor.
Yeah, because the guy you're fighting will kick the fuck out of you.
Oh, did you ever see? Oh, sorry.
Oh. Now I was about to say, I played through like 89% of Fallout 4 with nothing but a knife. It was fun. Like I put all my skill points in nothing but like sneak and then, like it took a while, but straight up knife. It was awesome.
Monkey, did you ever see the speed run of Fallout, the first Fallout game? It's like 6 minutes long.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. Let's see.
And
you guys
for the
should
record,
no.
That is very dependent on RNG, because in the original Fallout, moving across the map, you can run into all kinds of shit. And
yeah, random encounters were all over the place there. So that one run, that guy got lucky. Really lucky that he only encountered like I think 1 or 2 random encounters throughout the entire trip.
Yeah. Scrappy says real men wear loincloth. Monkey's character in 7 Days to Die is very close to manly, running around in his underwear. It's true. They won't let me wear clothes.
Lothbrock says, if John Cena is supposed to be Duke Nukem, prepare for the most watered down, child friendly movie ever. I I don't know. That's all I know is that is apparently the current plan, and John Cena plan. I think John Cena can pull off the look just fine. I don't know if they're going to be able to, yeah, like you say, I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with as much raunchiness, depending on who's producing it. If it's a WWE movie, I don't see how that's going to be a problem. But
well, I'm hoping that when it releases, it does so unapologetically. Like they're just like, this is what the movie is. Everybody knows that this is what it is. If you don't like it, don't come see it. Like that's it. Period.
This movie, Balls of Steel.
Yep. Like I don't want to hear your shit. I want the directors to be like, shut up.
Have we seen Bloodsport starring Jean-Claude Van Damme? Many times. Okay, USA, bottom brick. Yeah, no, I've seen that far too many times.
Have you seen Bloodsport starring Andy Warst?
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. In the immediate fallout of the Worski, what the hell's the
debacle?
Retard fucker, JF.
Oh.
In their divorce, so far, JF is getting the best of it. Andy's lost like 2,000 viewers in the last 24 hours.
Mm.
And JF is still climbing.
Let's see. Apparently 60 women, including Rachel Maddow, Andrea Mitchell, etc., have come out in support of Tom Brokaw.
Oh, wow.
And they voiced their support for him. I'm not sure if it's by letter or just something else, but there you go.
That's a lot more of the women that so by that logic, if 60 women said he didn't do it, clearly. Look how many women that is. That's way more than the one
preponderance of the evidence.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Faith is abdication. Are there sufficient aliens of color in Infinity War? There are many aliens of many different shades. Yes.
Wow.
When I saw AOC, I thought it was Africans of color.
Well, there are those too, if you count Wakanda as African, because it is.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that, Data. The bad lip reading of the Zuckerberg thing.
Oh, I haven't, but I will. I'll watch.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Oh, Pat says, Maddow, that's a surprise. Given her relationship with Tom Brokaw, I'm actually not that surprised. Though, if by some weird chance something comes up to corroborate this lady's story, these 60 women are going to look a little less Me Too real quick. But I guess we'll see what happens. I think Brokaw's probably in safe territory, because unless she's gone to the authorities, I'm not quite sure what she hopes to accomplish with this other than vilifying the guy.
And Jenna, I saw your answer. Heal up, girl. Be careful with yourself.
Yeah.
Hell freezes over when Mad Cow supports. I'm not surprised. Tom Brokaw is well loved in news, and he has been for a long time. And he's not your Dan Rather type where you've noticed any serious bias from the guy. He's got his moments, but he's never been he's old school. And
well, the test will be if, like, what's his name on today? Matt Lauer. Like Matt Lauer and Harvey Weinstein. If this one allegation brings forward other people with other stories that then can be backed up or something. Right. That's related, because this is the first we've ever heard of something against Tom Brokaw. Doesn't mean it's going to be the last, because the pattern we've seen so far is one person comes forward and then other people start coming forward with a pattern of behavior kind of stuff or something else. So not saying that is going to happen, but it has been what we've seen so far. So for all we know, this isn't the end of it, but then it is just one thing someone said from 30 years ago now. So Shiogorath, do cemetery workers prefer the graveyard shift? Oh, Shio, I'm sorry. That's pretty for Shio. That's kind of weak. She usually has something a bit more
surprisingly not disgusting.
Yeah, that is true. I'll give him that.
Dude, she is doing everything in her power not to answer this question.
And she will. Because there's no answer for it, because it's a bullshit setup.
What? Sorry, what? I must
Yeah.
have something.
Oh,
The Facebook or the Twitter
Michelle.
dispute.
Yeah. So I asked her again. And she said, defending a monster because he's your family and defending a monster because you watch him on TV is different. I can understand some of his family standing behind him. And then she also said after that, don't bring up my husband, though, because that'll piss me off.
Oh, yeah. Don't bring up anything relevant, because where she would have an actual stake in it. No. Keep it as somebody she doesn't fucking know.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
You know, and that's the problem with this stuff, guys. When it comes to free speech or these new hashtag Me Too rape allegations, it's very easy to be like, well, I don't know him, so I can be as harsh as I want to be. But these things have a way of biting you in the ass eventually, too. And if you don't believe me on that, check out the Clarence Thomas hearings.
Oh, yeah. Do they still have those? Like, do you think they have the entire Clarence Thomas hearings archived somewhere in video form?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're in the National Archives.
I wonder if you can go on YouTube and just find like hours and hours and hours of nothing but.
Probably not, because I mean, I'm sure there's people who taped them because they were. It was one of the few times they were on like network television. But I don't know how many people have uploaded them to like YouTube.
Clarence Thomas hearings. Yeah, there's segments. There's like little bits and soundbite kind of things. I don't see like hours long type things. Although sometimes those can be interesting. I remember I recorded the audio from this one congressional hearing where they interrogated Alberto Gonzalez back when he was district attorney general, and it is one of the most painful things to listen to because Alberto Gonzalez is such an idiot.
Yeah.
And his attempts at dodging questions is so painfully laughable during the course of that thing. And it's one of those things where it's like, Bush just knew how to pick them.
On paper, Gonzalez should have been a good candidate.
Candidate for what?
Or appointment.
Kind of, I guess. I mean, again, it was one of his personal lawyers kind of things, and he puts him up into a super duper job. I mean, he had served in judicial office previously, so it wasn't like he was just somebody out of a closet or something. But at the same time, when you get down into how much stuff he did and didn't do, and how shady some of his moves were. Like, the first time I ever heard about James Comey was when he had to act as acting attorney general when Ashcroft was attorney general and was in the hospital. And Gonzalez, as White House counsel, went to the guy's hospital room to try to get him to reauthorize the surveillance program while he was practically on his deathbed.
Yeah.
It was one of the craziest fucking stories I've ever heard. And at the time when Comey was telling the story and he was like, watching this really ridiculous scene of these guys trying to push a practically dying man to reauthorize something before it expired. And he sits up in his hospital bed and says, this is why this is wrong. And by the way, I'm not the attorney general right now. He is. And he points to Comey.
Yep.
And then he collapses back into his bed because he just about killed himself trying to say that. Oh, Comey, how the mighty have fallen. Let's see. Do married people really live longer than single people, or does it just seem longer? Probably the former.
We live longer.
Well, you have somebody to take care of you. That extends your life.
Yep.
I mean, granted that they love you. That's the other thing. Let's see.
I like this, Scrappy. How do you know a guy's been married a long time? You ask him how his wife is doing, and he just sighs.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jenna P says it's said people happily married with more than 2 kids have a better life relationship, and you raise children that are happier. I hope so.
Depends on the kids. Depends on the home.
Yeah, you could have some, sociopath kids or something. Cozy, where are you? Malevolent writer's obsessed with Cozy. I don't understand. Should there be a movie about the Captain Planet villain Duke Nukem? No. That was easy.
They should make a Freedom Force movie.
Oh, you mean
Video game.
The video game, yeah. Minuteman and all that. Yeah, that you know that game captured the campiness of old comic books so perfectly.
It did.
It was amazing. It was like reading the old '80s comic books or the '60s stuff. It was great.
And then Marvel and DC had to be dicks because in that game you could skin the characters, and so many people had made Spider-Man was probably the most popular costumes, and Marvel came in. You can't do that. Fuck off, dickholes.
Although the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance was a really good game too. I really like that one. The second one was better looking, but it was okay. If you max out Doctor Strange in the first Ultimate Alliance, there's this one power you can throw like a bolt of energy at somebody, and it has a random chance which increases as you upgrade the power to just turn them into a cardboard box.
Oh, nice.
And then you just like smash them, and then like jewels and stuff come out. I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I just kept turning enemies into cardboard boxes. It was wonderful.
I used to play this sweet ass Xbox game on not Xbox, X-Men game on PlayStation a while back. I can't remember what it was called. But it was like
X-Men
top down.
Legends.
Yeah, X-Men's Legends.
Was it? I don't think it was Legends. I think it was before Legends.
Oh, okay.
Because Legends was more recent.
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
It was so fucking good. Like that game was excellent. I got to figure out what it was though.
Jean-Pierre, I didn't watch Captain Planet. I'm straight. And yes, I've seen the Mario Brothers movie. It is one of my favorite worst movies of all time.
It is so bad. There's actually a movement out to try to get it remastered, like Blu-ray and all this other crazy stuff. Because I'm not that much of a fan of how bad it is that I care to like buy it on Blu-ray. But you know, whatever.
If we ever do a movies you shouldn't have watched, that'll be one of them.
Oh God, I don't want to sit through that again.
So here's the great thing about this: if we do movies you shouldn't have watched, we don't have to sit through them.
That's true too. I have seen
our memory.
I believe I saw it in the theater back then because before I knew it was going to be that bad. There is a hilarious. I don't know if it's on tape, but there's a hilarious transcript of an interview with Bob Hoskins where they ask him about that, or they ask him like, "What was the worst movie you ever worked on?" And he lets out this long, painful sighs like Super Mario Brothers. It's just like, and he goes like into this deep detail on just all the shit that happened behind the scenes and the production and just what a hell it was. And I mean, it's, you know, it must have been awful for him to be there, but as a read, it's hilarious to listen to the stories about that.
I watched it again just a couple years ago because my sons had never seen it, and we found a copy. And I had told them how bad it was.
Yeah.
And so we watched it together, and it's worse than I remembered.
Oh, it's so bad. Let's see. Judge Death, Anita Hill testimony, Clarence Thomas, second hearing, day 1, 1991, 4.5 hours. I'm not surprised. Duck Dog says, when the lead actors make a game of getting shithoused before filming, it's going to be a bad movie. Yeah, I need some drunkenness. Michael Hatfield says, Dr. Giggles was the worst movie I ever watched in a theater. Dr. Giggles starring Larry Drake, who is also in Darkman, which Monkey will be watching this weekend. I saw Dr. Giggles in the theater as well when it came out. I like the poster. The poster looked really cool. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie. I think the worst movie I ever saw in the theater was Fear.com. I walked out of the movie theater 10 minutes in because I felt my brain had been insulted by the movie's plot.
The only movie I've ever walked out of was Vanity of the Bonfire. Bonfire of the Vanities.
Vanity of the Vampires.
Vanity of the Vampires.
Yeah.
That would have been a much better movie.
Now, I want to see Vanity of the Vampires now. No, yeah. Bonfire of the Vanities
was fucking stupid.
I watched that a couple of years ago or so. I think it might have been on Netflix or whatever. But I watched that because I'd never seen it. I heard how bad it was, and I watched it. And it was not good. I didn't hate it, but I knew I could see why people didn't like it because it's not very entertaining. It's kind of bland and stuff. But apparently that movie is some huge like cultural icon in like France or something. I think it was France.
The book it is based on is supposed to be really good, which I've never read.
Yeah.
And there was so much hype around it because of the book. And I don't know how good the book is, but that movie fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was not a. I mean, I could follow the movie, I could follow the plot line and everything. It just wasn't interesting. It just there was nothing to care about any of the characters or the events going on. It was kind of boring.
This is how bad that movie was. I left that theater and walked into a theater to watch the end of Kindergarten Cop, which I had already seen.
I've switched theaters before. When I was too young to see it, I bought a ticket with my mom and my sister because they were going to go see 9 Months with Hugh Grant.
Oh, that was a dumbass movie too.
Well, I know, but so we go into there because playing in the theater, like one theater over or one screen over, about 10 or 15 minutes into that movie was Species.
Oh, okay.
So I was only like. I wasn't 18 at that point or 17 or whatever. So I snuck over and watched Species. Well, my mom and then 9 Months ended like 10 minutes before Species did. So they waited outside while I finished up watching Species. Species was actually not that bad, but Natasha Henstridge naked was the only reason I went.
Why is the Lone Ranger called Lone if he always has an Indian friend riding with him? That's a great question.
Well, he wasn't always with Tonto. I think that was part of the story or something. That like I think in the original stuff, like the original stories, like Tonto would only join him occasionally. Like he usually did most of his stuff on his own or something. I forget.
Well, back then also, yeah, that's a good point, Scrappy. Indians weren't counted as people, so.
No, yeah, that's true. Duck Dog says, "Isn't Bonfire the movie where Melanie Griffith photocopies her ass and signs it?" Maybe. You could be right. I won't be surprised. Let's see. 3 minutes, guys. So if you got any last minute questions or anything, we'll cover that. Remember, tomorrow night we're on Monkey's channel, per usual. And then Sunday on this channel, there will be the movies you should have watched, Darkman. Harvest Marvel's best 80s, 90s cartoon / anime series intro. That's really specific. Probably Karate Kid, the cartoon, because the theme song to Karate Kid, the cartoon is cinematic. Look it up. Tell me I'm wrong. Just the music. The lyrics are completely pointless, but the music's great.
I've never been a fan of opening sequences for any show. My favorite opening of any show is Scrubs because it was like 2 seconds long. And that's the thing I've never liked.
Thank you, Diesel Dave. And Tonto isn't a ranger. Ooh, that is also true.
Yeah, somebody a little further up had mentioned that Tonto wasn't a ranger, therefore the Lone Ranger was still the Lone Ranger. Has Lady Monkey seen The English Patient? I have no idea. I've never watched it.
The English Patient. I saw that in the theater. That is an artsy movie. That's a drama movie to watch. That's not for everybody. Black Romeo, X-Men the animated series. That is true. The X-Men series altogether was pretty good. I just watched like a little documentary on that where the people making it really had to convince Fox to let them do the show they wanted to, because unlike a lot of other cartoons, they did story arcs and not like just episodic episodes that were self-contained. They tried to do they were one of the first sort of cartoon shows to sort of look at the series as a whole rather than just as like a series of incidents kind of thing.
Have you guys seen Wings? Do you mean the TV show?
Yeah, I've seen Wings.
I used to watch it quite often. It wasn't a horrible show, not the best sitcom.
Yeah, it was fine. I liked some of the characters and things.
When was the last time you took Lady Monkey to a movie? We saw Spider-Man was the last one we went to. And
they'll see Avengers tomorrow.
Yeah.
Michael Hatfield, Lords of the Night, thank you for entertaining us every night. I always have such a good time. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
We do too. I think we
So-
do. Do we?
So wait, who are the imposters entertaining them on Sundays?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. He was like every night. I'm like,
Maybe they rewatch one of the streams.
No, that's the fjords of the night. That's like a whole like river channel or something. I don't know what you guys are
Yeah,
watching.
it's 2 black dudes and a white guy.
Well, actually, they're probably watching you and me, Satsu.
Oh yeah.
That's
2/3
true.
of the Lords of the Night.
Yeah, you guys are still lords even when you're not on the show.
That's true.
We're Lords of Leaping.
Lords of the Zombies.
And on the note of Lords of the Leaping Zombies, guys, that's going to bring it to the end for tonight. Chat, thank you so much for joining us, as you always do. You're the best audience on YouTube, bar none. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things. I wasn't watching chat all stream, but I assume most people didn't do anything about spoiling Avengers, so good on you.
No,
if
they've
you-
been good.
Okay, so good on you guys for that, for everybody else. Everyone who donated, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, even if YouTube's not going to chart it for us. And Monkey, Satsu, as always, thank you for joining me. Hope you guys have a roaring good time blowing away zombies on 7 Days to Die over on 2 Cents Plus immediately after this is over with.
Soon after.
Soon after. Okay, well, I mean, soon in the biblical sense, sure. But guys, hope you guys have a good evening, and if you have a chance to see Infinity War, I highly recommend that you do, and add to the coffers of Marvel so they can make even more crazy movies. Other than that, guys, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Thank you for